Yesterday was really an amazing day to see so many brands out there and so many great products and all the buyers and all the attendees walking around and learning about everything new, all the new products everybody's got, and such a family event here. You know, people hanging out under the trees and on the bean bags and seeing so many friends. This is a massive family reunion here. That's what yesterday was.
We are back at Hall of Flowers Day 2. Dimitri Downing with my personal, I was going to say hero, but, I don't want to,
Don't blow my head up. Don't blow my head up.
Bill from Beard Bros, it's an honor to be hosting with you. First of all, shout out to Hall of Flowers for taking the time to feature the Edwin Rubis stage so that we can talk about all the issues that have been confronting people for 50 years and are still confronting people, and recognize criminal justice reform and talk about this stuff. And so this has been a topic of conversation here, and we love it. Shout out to Beard Bros, to GLG, Mita, or collaboration of this platform. This is a platform, it's not a stage officially. And you're here interviewing wonderful people. And so yesterday was Industry Day, and we had 4,000 industry members wandering around. The doors are opening right now as we speak. It's kind of a cool moment for the Consumer Day, I think it's called. But it's also Industry Day, so it's a mix. So it's a first time everything at Hall of Flowers. So we're excited to see what happens. You guys have all been to many Hall of Flowers, and you guys were all wandering around yesterday. So I want to turn it over to you to introduce yourselves and talk a little bit about what you saw yesterday at Hall of Flowers.
Hi, my name's Edwin Rubis. I'm a payments guy. I'm also very involved with NORML, trying to push us all forward in the industry. Yesterday was another amazing Hall of Flowers Day, but I'm really excited about what's happening behind us. I've never seen anything like this. Like, the public's flowing into one of our events. How awesome is that, right? Yeah. Like, we get to hang out with the public today, see what they think of everything that's going on. I'm really excited about what's going on today.
What did you see yesterday? What was going on?
Yesterday was really an amazing day to see so many brands out there and so many great products and all the buyers and all the attendees walking around and learning about everything new, all the new products everybody's got, and such a family event here. People hanging out under the trees and on the bean bags and seeing so many friends. This is a massive family reunion here. That's what yesterday was.
Yeah, I think Ian said it well. My name's Hirsch Jane. I'm on the board of California NORML. I'm also the vice chair of the Cannabis Chamber of Commerce, and with Ian, help lead the LA chapter, which is something that I really enjoy. And yeah, it's great to be here at Hall of Flowers. I think Ian had some great takeaways. I'll just mention a couple. It's a great opportunity to see the evolving brand landscape in California, and especially if you think that California brands are going to be successful nationally and globally, it's a great opportunity to take a look at that. And then here, this Consumer Day, I think, just speaks to the continued normalization of cannabis in California. I mean, many of us were just at the California State Fair, where they allowed consumption for the first time and gave out awards and put cannabis on par with cheese and wine and olive oil. Yeah. And so I think that's what this event represents going forward in California.
I mean, Hall of Flowers has always been that. They started out in 2018, and the goal was to connect retailers with brands, because we all need help in networking. We all need help in getting our products out there. And it was just a great thing to do. The transition they've made is recognizing that not only do you need to connect the businesses, you need to connect the consumers. And so this is their first ever open to the public. So the public gets a view of what we've been doing on a level for the last 6 years at Hall of Flowers.
Totally.
So I haven't had a chance to walk around because I've been on stage this whole time. That's why I assigned you to be the roving reporter. We've got like 5 or 6 people that are coming back, like Luna, coming back towards the end of the day, going to jump on here, tell us what she saw. Yeah. But we got new food trucks over here. We got people selling things. We've got an amusement area that's about to open up. I'm like counting down here. I'm excited about this. 5 minutes till it officially opens.
Yeah.
So we got a consumer area over here. We got the usual Hall of Flowers stuff over here. We've got brand activations. We got all kinds of stuff happening over here. What do you guys think about all this?
I can't wait to see the general public walking a trade show, really. I mean, brand after brand after brand. The amount of education that they're going to receive as they go from different brands and learning about all different products. And there's going to be a lot of sales here today, I think, too.
So they're selling inside. Is that what's happening?
Yes. Yeah. As well. So, generally on your first day, you have the buyers coming in and they have a reduced cost. so buyers can get products to take back to their retails at a reduced cost.
Okay.
Then they put it back up, not back up to retail today from what I've seen. It's really about half retail, maybe.
Yeah.
So maybe 3/4 retail at the most.
It's good
And
prices.
so no, it's great for the public, and it's great for the brands to actually reach out to the consumers that their products are going to.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think there'll also be so many iconic Californians here today. Like Gary Payton will be here today.
Yeah.
And I remember my earliest basketball memory was watching Gary Payton play Michael Jordan in that NBA Finals
Right.
during Jordan's second repeat. I mean, that's just me and my age. But I think it shows you how popular culture and cannabis are coming together. So a lot of these people that are here today, they're interested in cannabis, but also in its intersection with their favorite athletes and musicians and all that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and even on top of that, we've got basically a carnival over here. We've got a Ferris wheel, a slide,
And the motorcycle
cage
Oh,
racing. So I don't remember a cannabis. I can't remember a cannabis event where we had a carnival that you could attend as well. And also in one of the buildings, we have a bunch of video games, old school video games you can go in and play.
Right. That's right. You know, what's really going to be interesting is what we haven't seen before is the consumers interacting directly with the brands. Like usually you have a dispensary or a bud tender in there explaining all the products. Like, think about this. They're going to get it right from the horse's mouth. Walk into the booth of the brand and have the people that run that company and that brand tell you about it and educate you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, go over to Beard Brothers booth and you're going to get a lot of 411 for sure.
Yeah.
And you know what's cool is what's not missed is the fact that we are sitting here talking about criminal justice reform, everything that has gone wrong with the cannabis plant for 50, 60 years because of prohibition. And Hall Flowers hasn't forgotten that.
Yeah.
Along those lines, let me transition real quickly over to you, Bill, because I want to talk a little bit about Edwin. I want you to tell Edwin's situation, his story, how people can help him, what's going on with that. And then these guys, if you're with NORML, you're a good guy. And I'm excited about the future of NORML because it's going to go places. And let's talk a little bit about what NORML is going to do in the future and about the theme in general. But first, let's talk about Edwin.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, so Edwin Rubis is a man who was convicted of conspiracy charges in the late 90s because he chose not to snitch on his co-conspirators like they chose to do on him, and he took it to federal trial because he felt, well, you know, I'm an innocent man. They didn't catch me with any cannabis. I should be able to go to trial and be okay. Well, the feds don't like that, and so when you take the feds to trial, they bring the full weight of the country to bear on you.
Yes.
This poor man had a first-time federal defendant. He ended up being targeted, and he got a 40-year sentence without getting caught with any cannabis. Wow. So I know as mind-boggling as that sounds, everybody can say there's no way that actually happened. Yes, it's happening. This man is in jail. He calls me daily, so I can confirm that it's happened. And so what we're trying to do is we are trying to bring awareness to Edwin's case, which is one of the most egregious nonviolent cannabis charges and sentences that this country has. I mean, obviously we have people that have gotten out of life sentences. His was 40. Which is essentially when you're almost 30 is pretty much a de facto life sentence. And so we are putting pressure on President Joe Biden. Edwin's case is one where he has exhausted all of his appeals, and he has literally until January 20th for Joe Biden to grant him clemency in the form of either a pardon or a commutation, a reducing of sentence that would now let him out. And so that's what we have to fight for. We have till January 20th because we all know everybody promises leading into the election, right? They'll make us any promise we want to hear. And then when it happens, they don't follow through. So there is essentially no pardons that happen, no clemency that happens during presidencies until the last 6 months. So now is the time. That's why it's so important. And the reason that we're picking out just Edwin, there's many of them. There's about 300 people who are doing extended times.
And mention the groups that are
for nonviolent. So we're working with Freedom Grow. I'm now the COO of Freedom Grow, which is fantastic. So we've been out there just getting a story out. Weekly press releases every Thursday. We're putting out another story about Edwin just to create SEO and to create awareness. But the point of targeting on Edwin is to then take that and bring it to other people, right? The point is
we pass that to the left-hand side.
We got the big joint. And so the point is that we're trying to create awareness around the situation by highlighting a single person. He is not the only one, but he is one of the most egregious cases there is.
Can you tell us a little about all he has accomplished with his time behind bars? I mean, this is an impressive man.
Not only is his sentence so egregious, but what this man has done with the almost 3 decades they've kept him in a cage. I think he's earned 2 masters. He also has some type of a degree for counseling people. And so he does that in jail. So this man has become a beacon of what you can do with your life when you decide to make a positive change, even if you're in a prison system. I don't even know of anybody else who's earned masters while in the federal penitentiary system.
Yeah. This is a man.
He's
who's
inspirational.
Yeah, he is inspirational.
I mean,
he needs to get out so he can inspire others.
100%. I've said this before. I don't think I would have gone 27 years. And I'm not going to say what I would have done, but I don't think I could. The man's spirit that's still positive after almost 3 decades in jail is absolutely unbelievable.
And it must be extraordinary for him watching the last 14, 15 years of cannabis reform and watching now. I mean, people are moving more marijuana across states and stuff legally than he was even caught with, which was nothing.
The only thing they talked about with him was there was an 8,000 pound deal, right? So it was a couple. It was tons, but let's put it this way: that's 4 tons. I would bet you that True Leaf, Cure Leaf, GTI, they're selling that much every day.
Sure.
So for what they do daily, this man got 40 years for it.
You have businessmen sitting in LA writing contracts to move this amount of weight across California.
Yep.
Legally,
on the regular.
And you have him in jail.
Yep.
For the exact same thing.
Totally. I think
just
Dimitri,
insane.
That's the defining dynamic of our age, right? The more progress that we make, the greater the hypocrisy, right? Between the amount of business and then the folks that are in jail.
So thank you for sharing us all that information about Edwin. And the best way to find out more is to go to Freedom Grow.
Yep.
I always shout out Last Prisoners Project. There's a lot of other groups out there.
Yep.
It's a theme. Hall of Flowers is on the theme. That's why we're here. So shout out to Danny, Rama, Corey, Gage, all the people at Hall of Flowers for caring enough about this theme to bring it up and allow us to focus on it. Along those lines, let's talk a little bit about NORML. Is NORML involved? I know, what does NORML's future look like? I'm not sure the national level NORML. You guys do such great advocacy.
If you want, I can highlight some of the stuff that NORML has done.
Because I love normal people.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, we're all normal. I mean, we're all striving.
I'm
all striving to be normal, and we're all striving to make the plant normal and to normalize everything about this.
Right.
Recently, I found out I was weird though. So
there's nothing wrong with being a little quirky. I think.
Yeah.
I can talk about some of the stuff that Cal NORML has done recently and what we're doing going forward, and then some of these are efforts that Ian has directly led forward. So you can talk about it from your perspective. But a couple of things that Cal NORML has done over the past few years: we've passed an employment rights bill, right? So that means it is no longer legal to fire someone for off-duty cannabis use in California. It took 8 years after Prop 64 was passed for that to happen, but we got that. We helped get that done, which is something we're proud of. We helped sponsor Scott Wiener's bill, my apologies, SB 1186, that requires medical patients to get access to cannabis delivery. I mean, it's not, perfect. We don't have a storefront in every city, but it increases access. And then a couple of things we're working on, and then Ian, you can talk about this because you are directly involved with helping moving some of this forward. Are big advocates for the consumption lounge bill in California that will allow consumption lounges to serve food, right? And so will allow them to attract more business. And as ever, we're trying to reduce taxes in California, specifically by prohibiting the practice of, double taxation, where both cities and states can include one another's taxes in their gross amount that they tax upon. So that's a little technical, but these are some of the things that we're doing. And I know, Ian, you've done so much work on the consumption
it's
lounge.
important is that, look, there's a lot of nuances. I mean, hold your thought. There's a lot of nuances in the legalization movement.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, unfortunately, compromise that has to be done in order to get it to be like strawberries and tomatoes and just, which is the ideal.
Yep.
But your organization, NORML, always has had that as a guiding principle, towards freedom, towards liberty, towards open markets. It
has been a freedom issue.
Which is kudos to NORML. That's why I always, point that out when people are looking to support organizations that are doing advocacy work. Start with NORML. There's a lot of other organizations out there. They might not have the same principles that NORML does.
I appreciate you saying that. And just last thing I'll say is what's great about NORML is that it's very grassroots, right? Yeah. There's a Kentucky NORML chapter and they approach things in their own way. And there's a floor, so it's really just tens of thousands of people across the country that, like Ian and I have said, decided to volunteer their time and their money to so there's no organizing person that is directing these activities. It's very grassroots.
Yeah, it's very widespread. So NORML, of course, was started in 1970 by Keith Stroup. And if you listen to what Keith says, it's all about our personal freedoms. This is really a freedom issue. And that's what he just repeats over and over again. Right. So that applies really to so many things. The freedom to be able to consume without getting arrested. And the freedom today, what the freedom today is, it's the freedom to go and buy products, commercially, that are commercially available and consume them. And this brings us up to the cafes that we have in California, currently they're not allowed to serve food. They're not allowed to serve water. So imagine this: somebody's over at your house, right, and they consume a little too much. You know, what's the first thing you're going to do for them? Hey, would you like a glass of water?
Right.
Would you like a sandwich or a coffee? So imagine a cafe today. You know, they see a client that's clearly overconsumed. They can't even go offer them a glass of water. I mean, it's just crazy, right?
Can they go to the bathroom and drink water?
They can
probably
actually.
could.
They can be maybe encouraged to do that, but yeah.
Yes,
But it's crazy, right?
Encourage you to drink water.
I mean, we know that the cafes are all struggling, you know, as
Yeah.
what you mentioned with the taxes and everything. This is not an
Yeah.
easy industry to really be profitable in.
Right.
So, for God's sake, let these
I
people
mean-
serve a little bit of food and some beverages.
I mean, we're already overregulated, separated into 50 states, and every 50 states makes up their own rules, and then they make up stupid rules like you can't have a water at a consumption lounge. It's like they feel like cannabis is some kind of plutonium or some kind of rock from outer space that doesn't just apply to common sense. It's wild to me.
yeah.
Well, the fight will go on. The normalization of cannabis, it will continue to go on for 50, 60, 70 years. I mean, alcohol is still being
Yeah.
negotiated in different capacities, different rules, different regulations. So I look forward to seeing where NORML goes, and you guys participating in it. I should work more actively with NORML.
You
Come
should.
on, let's go.
Arizona, get an
Well,
Arizona chapter
I'll
going.
tell you my education about the cannabis community, the cannabis culture, the cannabis policy. It came from Michael Weiser.
Yes.
Shout out to Michael Weiser. Back in
Miss that guy.
2012, 2015, he passed away during COVID, but of a heart attack.
Yeah.
Not of COVID, which is a very important note. And then he taught me all about cannabis.
Yeah.
And so I will greatly appreciate it. He introduced me to Keith. Is it Stroop or Strop?
Strop.
Strop.
I hear both.
Yeah,
but-
I hear about it.
He introduced me to Keith. He introduced me to Ethan Nadelman. He introduced me to Steve Fox, Rob Campia,
Yeah.
Chris Crane, all these guys back in 2012. And I realized real quickly that there's the suits and the roots. And the roots are the good guys, and you got to stick with them.
Yeah.
You got to
You
watch
know.
the suits.
You
Well,
gotta
listen,
watch the
we
suits.
appreciate you guys coming out, spending
Yeah.
time with us on the Edwin Rubis stage here
Oh.
at day 2 of Hall of Flowers. Please let everybody know where they can find NORML and yourselves as well.
So at the national level, you should go to norml.org, NORML.org. And actually right from there, you can click on each state, find out about all the laws in that particular state, as well as find
Awesome.
out the local NORML chapter that you might want to get involved with. So I encourage you to do that.
Yep. And where can they find you, Ian?
LinkedIn.
Where can they find me? Yeah, everywhere. Just Google. Go to-
You're not lying, but
I'm not lying. Anywhere in the world at any given time, if there's a cannabis event, I might be there. Go to rassman.com, RASSMAN.com, and you can click to call, whatever.
You can find me on Twitter. I tweet a lot about
Yes.
cannabis policy, like all day. So
Love
my
it.
handle is Ananda Strategy. So that's ANANDA Strategy. That's the best place to connect with me.
You should absolutely
Excellent.
follow Hirsch on Twitter
On
because
Twitter.
you can get just the
Yeah.
updates and know what's going
Twitter's
on.
great
all
for
the time.
You're
engagement.
also on LinkedIn.
Also
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But on Twitter, I'm just constantly posting if you want to talk cannabis policy.
love it.
I should jump on there
So,
with you.
you know.
Bill, thank you for co-hosting
Yeah.
this. And we will be back here at Hall of Flowers, day 2, with another episode of the Edwin Rubis stage collaboration.
Edwin Rubis. Free Edwin Rubis now.
Yes.
You guys, what are we going to do? Free Edwin,
Edwin Rubis.
Rubis now.
That's what we're doing.
Excellent. Thank you very much for being
Thank you
here.
for having us.